Hey, have you heard of this couple? They're currently traveling around the world and reinventing themselves again. Can you imagine? Going back and resetting your life again? I know, right? Well, yeah, they are already doing it. Look, and you can call them Aey and Mel.
Morning, we're heading to our next country today. We're currently here in Makarska bus station because we'll be traveling by bus heading to our next country. Traveling today. Is he here? Okay, getting in. Here's our bus. It's pretty huge. Just gonna put our luggage in.
We are on our way to our next destination, and this is going to be a 3-hour bus ride while crossing the border from Croatia to Bosnia. Something happened.
We got fun. So someone will collect your passport after checking the police. We'll tell you the story later. We got fined.
When you're here, make sure you're registered in the police.
Make sure the host registered your ID.
If they don't ask for your passport,
You're gonna get fined. We finally have officially arrived on our destination, and we're gonna be having a bit of a storytelling time because that was quite a travel, right? For a 3-hour road trip. That took us a while from the immigration, the police, and then grabbing a taxi from the Mostar bus stop. So we'll explain more of the details later on because we're hungry. So we're gonna look for a place to eat. And yeah, we're officially here in Bosnia, and this is our current place. So we'll be spending 24 hours here in Mostar. So we only got an Airbnb for a night. So this Airbnb is pretty huge. And yeah, what time is it already? It's already 2 p.m. About 2 p.m. And yeah, we're gonna head out and look for a place to eat. Yeah, okay, we're gonna head out there. Pretty hungry. Hello, now we're back home. We quickly decided to eat here in our Airbnb and decided to discuss what happened to our Croatia experience, crossing the country from Croatia to Bosnia via bus. And yeah, we learned it the hard way when we were already at the police station. Or-
Immigration.
Is it immigration?
Yeah.
So usually, well, everyone probably knows this, especially those of you guys who do travel a lot, especially when you're crossing a country. Usually there's a border check, right? So we're halfway on the way here in Bosnia, and then obviously we're on the border, the border check. And then so we're stopped there, and then the driver said the local language of, I think the only word I understand from him is ID, but then we already understood what's gonna happen because everyone's like pulling their IDs and passport. So the driver asked us to queue on the line outside of the bus, and then there's like a cube of how do you call it? Immigration.
It's like a toll gate.
It's actually like a immigration inside an airport, but it's just outside of the building. It's like a toll, but there, when you're crossing, when you're driving and there's actually a cubicle for toll, but they're actually immigration officer instead of like people who's asking for toll fee.
Yeah.
So yeah. And do you want to
So
continue?
the point is, when we went through, the immigration was checking their system where we stayed. So they want to match when you arrive versus when you leave. And so for us staying here staying in Croatia, we stayed 3 months. So they were cross-referencing each stay until the exact date that we were leaving. And so one of our Airbnb hosts didn't actually register us. So the lesson here is, if you're just looking for the lesson, is make sure that wherever you stay, where it may it be Agoda, Airbnb, Booking.com, hotel, whatever, in Croatia you have to register your stay in the police. So usually
Yeah.
the hotel does it for you, but we learned the hard way that was the system, and for some reason our host forgot to register us, so we had to pay a fine, which is €33 per person.
person.
And it wasn't just us, so there was another tourist
There's a
couple,
couple, yeah.
that also experiences. So
And yeah, we just learned it on the spot when we arrived on the immigration check, which is where we got stopped and the driver asked us to go queue outside. And that makes sure you also have a proof, if in case you have a proof that they register you, if in case they ask you, because that's the police says to us, we don't care because we don't have you in the system for another 2 months, so you'll be getting a fine from us.
yeah.
So yeah, lucky our accommodation is under Airbnb, which is, we keep on saying how we prefer Airbnb, because if it's not on any other platform, they probably just like,
Yeah, if it was like a hotel, you wouldn't know who to contact.
Yeah.
So we have a direct contact with the owner, and the owner was kind enough to reimburse us. But
it, yeah.
for us, it was a bit of a hassle
Yeah.
because the bus had to stop and everyone was waiting
Was
for us.
waiting
And
for us,
it took
yeah.
some time to actually process. So imagine if we were in the airport as well, we could have been left behind by
Late.
the airplane.
airplane,
So make sure if the place you're staying doesn't ask for your passport, I think you should chase it up. Like, why are you not, like, have you registered our...
yeah, just ask them
Yeah.
if they register
Something you
your
should know.
stay in that address on the police station, because that's a requirement.
Yeah.
So we just found out when we left. And then also when we arrived, because we got the bus from Croatia heading here to Bosnia. So if you're heading to Old Town, Bosnia, don't be surprised if the bus stop is quite far from
Mostar.
Mostar. But once you're out of that platform, just walk outside. You'll see a lot of taxis. You can just raise your hand and just talk to them. They're usually just gonna turn their meter and then ask you
So there's
where
no
you're heading. Yeah.
there's no Uber here in
Yeah.
Bosnia.
They have taxi, but there's a number, so we don't have any SMS. We don't have data.
So just wait for
yeah,
them.
we'll
Yeah.
figure out how to grab a taxi on the way from there. That's pretty much it. So hopefully this information helps you guys if you're planning on going out from Croatia. Going out from Croatia, heading to other countries like
To
Montenegro,
Bosnia.
Bosnia, or yeah. So yeah. Bye guys.
Bye.